I bet you people get down to that song 100%.
Hey, brother.
Brother.
That one.
Yeah.
Can you imagine though? Like you're getting hot and heavy, and next minute you hear it's all quiet, and then you say, "Play the music, babe," and then you hear, "Hey, brother," and then you just keep with your hot and heavy. I just don't know how does that work. Please, I'd love to know if anyone has done it before.
Yeah.
How does that work?
It would be interesting. It's like a little EDM party in your bedroom.
I'm trying to think how the rest of the song goes.
I don't know. It's all over when I'm wiser and I'm older. No, that's a different song, isn't it?
Different song, I think. Wait. I'm thinking. Hey, brother, there's an endless road to be discovered. Hey, sister. Oh, when the sky comes falling down for you, there's nothing in this world I wouldn't do.
That's it.
That's it. And if I'm far from home, wait, Juicy, because it sounds like it's the same song. Oh, brother, I will hear you call. Down to that, they're talking about like brother and sister. And if I lose it all, oh sister, I will help you out. It's weird. The song you were talking about, though, you should mention that one, the one that you were laughing at.
Baby, lock them doors and turn the lights down low. Let the music play soft and slow. Baby, you ain't got no place to go. Why won't you understand? Baby, I've been thinking all day long. I don't know if those are the lyrics, but I think so. Anyway.
I think it's what you made up was beautiful, if that was the case. If it's not the lyrics, what you came up with was quite nice.
I think they're the lyrics, but I don't know if I said them in the right order. I don't know if I mixed verse 2 with verse 1. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
That's okay. YOLO. Live once. No one's going to hold it against you. It's not going anywhere. She mixed verses.
But I want to say something real quick before we get started on the topics today. This lady right here that you're seeing on the screen, Miss Ashley Woods, she said something just now before we got on that was perfection, pure perfection, and she called us the flow hose. So today, welcome back to what's happening in the Daily Humans collections series with your fellow hosts, the flow host. Yeah, that was real smooth. I'm really good today, aren't I? Like I keep tripping up over my words. Welcome back to the Daily. It's not even the Daily Humans. What's
one
happening
of those days
in the Daily Humans with your fellow hosts, the flow host. I like that. Yeah.
It's one of those days today where no words make sense. English is non-existent. And if you have a problem with that in this episode, well, I don't know what to tell you. Some days words just don't word. This is one of those days. I'm going to put that on a T-shirt. So if I'm in one of those days where my words aren't wording, you can't use it against me. It's on the T-shirt. It's like a law. Once it's on a T-shirt, it's a rule. It's a law.
Yes. And I
like those T-shirts from the early 2000s.
I like
Live,
that.
Laugh, life.
Yeah. Yeah. Home is where the heart is. Now, I want to address real quick before, because you're thinking, are we in another episode of CSI Miami? No, we're not. I am wearing glasses on the inside. I mean, on the inside of a house, not on the inside of my body.
You're wearing glasses on the inside.
I'm wearing glasses inside, indoors. Indoors, that's what I should have said. I'm wearing glasses indoors because my eyes are swollen and my doctors keep telling me everything is fine. So,
Practice.
before you see Kermit the Frog appear before you, I shall meet you with glasses instead. And Ashley
Glasses
has
too.
joined us with the party, the glasses party. So she looks stunning as always.
Wear them. It actually started to hurt. I had them on, but they started to
Mhm.
hurt my eyes. And I think it's like the
Mm,
artificial light and the
yeah.
glasses are like, this is the real sun.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, so I've had to
Okay.
put them on my head. But I'm joining
That's
her.
fine.
I might put them on during the episode to join Nina. Because why? Who said you can't rock up to an episode wearing glasses? Honestly, you can wear
Actually,
anything apart from
actually,
going naked. You can't do that.
well, you
Mm?
can, but that's for pay per view. Like you got to pay for
That is
that.
for the pay, the
Yeah.
$1 million pay,
Yeah.
PayPal.
It's gotta be a lot, honey.
Our secret flow ho OF.
That's why we're called flow hose. Yeah.
It's all connecting.
Yeah, it's coming back to us now. It's all coming back, it's all
No,
coming back to me
back
now.
to me now. There were moments of golden. You can't just end it before like that part starts to
No,
come
that's the
up.
perfect part. That's the perfect part. I saw a video online on TikTok about the company Prego, uh, an American Prego. They
Thank you.
are a company that does pasta and sauces, things like that, Italian food, if you will. And now, most recently, if you go to the store and buy a little bit of pasta, you can have a little nice pasta night with your family while also recording each other on the dinner table with a little pod that records your voices for archival family stories. Because, like, what's the best idea ever, guys? Than like to sit around a dinner table, introduce a new technology that nobody asked for while you're eating your pasta, and like record
Yeah.
ourselves and record ourselves. It's like a historical document. And I said to Ashley, I don't really get why they're selling this. A lot of the talking points right now is, oh, it's not AI, it doesn't have Bluetooth, but like that's not very Prego. I'm sorry, it's not very Prego. What does that have to do with Italian food? Well, we just want to share stories from families all around the world. Why do we need to record that at the dinner table? And my 2 cents is just with this. It, we already have phones that can listen to us. We can have a video camera that we can, press record and record ourselves if that's something that we want to do with our families. But I just think personally speaking, it's like the lowering of the wall that's happening there because most people have like Siri in the house, they have Alexa, they have Bixby, whoever all these other like AI names are with like these home pods and things like that they have introduced into their home. And I just personally think that there is something inherently strange about the fact that we're making it so comfortable to be advertised that companies want to come into our home and record our conversations. I just think that's weird.
Mm,
It's very Black Mirror, but
yes.
I guess that's Prego.
Prego is not pregoing. I find it interesting that a company that makes pasta is like bringing out recording devices. I'm just trying to understand. That's like what can I think of? Because it's like Australian store, but then a lot of you wouldn't understand. Like it's like what's an American? What's the bookstore? The popular bookstore?
Barnes and
Bus,
Noble.
but it's like Barnes and Noble deciding to bring out exercise machines or something like that. It's just like they randomly come out with actually, you know what? They come out with their own little pleasure line. Yeah, Barnes and Noble and their pleasure line. Or McDonald's bringing out their own pleasure line in the shape of I don't know, a
A burger.
Ronald McDonald. Don't get any ideas.
Wow. Wow. We really need you in those boardrooms, honey. Like, I don't know what
Dude,
to tell you.
I don't want to make McDonald's any more money than what they've got. But like it's literally the most weird thing to
Yeah.
me. Like just go on and make the pasta, the best pasta in the world. Focus on that side of it, instead of
Mhm.
adding to the technology mix. I mean, why? That's my question. Like, why?
Yeah.
What is the point? Maybe, maybe it might be good if I were to see, I guess, one little pro to it. Maybe it's one of those moments when you're recording one of your family members, the ones that are like, I never said that. And
Oh,
they don't know,
yeah.
and they know what a phone looks like. And you slip this device in there and you record it. And then when they come out with the whole, I never said that, you go, ha ha. And then you press it and it replays what they're saying. Yeah, you can do it with a phone, but I guess they know what a phone looks like. And they're like, why are you recording me? So I guess this device could be used for that.
Just
I
spy
watch
on
a lot of
people.
movies. Yeah. Like
Uh,
there's so many things that popped into my head when I saw that video. Just the shit that you do.
yeah.
That I thought this is the problem when you put things out to the human experience is that these are human beings. Like we're human beings. So
Yeah.
yeah, I feel like that
Let me
recording device is going to be used for unnecessary purposes.
Yeah, because you're triggering my brain. Like my brains be tingling
Always do.
because
My
yeah, you
brain is
tickle you
tingling.
you always tickle my brain. That's why we're flow hub.
Well,
But like
save it for the pay. Save it for the pay.
yeah, okay. I- um the
Oh,
meta
in
glasses
premium.
and that shit. That is ooh, I cannot tell you how much I hate that, but yeah, my God.
I think
What's
too,
wrong
but
with
the other
people?
thing, this is see, this is where I have my own. I don't like the meta glasses either. They're mostly used for people to be able to
Stalking.
do the most stingy, yeah.
Yeah.
As well, though, there is a guy that goes to market stalls, and I'm pretty sure he has meta glasses on. I'm pretty sure he does. I can't confirm that though, but I'm sure he does. But he goes to farmers markets and goes to stalls where there isn't anybody, and then
Yeah.
those interactions.
Yeah.
Um, and if he does, again, I'm not sure, but if he does, there are moments like that where it's like, I don't think you want a phone in your face.
Yeah, but also, do they consent to being recorded? That's the whole thing.
Oh,
It's
that's the other
like,
thing too.
I get it. I get that it looks a lot less invasive, but at the same time, it's like you're still recording somebody without them potentially knowing and posting it online. I mean, it's great if it works out for them, but what if it doesn't? What if you intend to do something kind and then, there's a psychopath that sees the video and does something to that person or that business? Like it's just like double-edged sword when it comes to the internet.
That was the same when phones came out, though. It was the discussion of what it could be used for,
Yeah.
aside from just your typical texting and calling. And
Yeah.
people do use phones for the most atrocious things,
Yeah.
recording certain things. And I think meta glasses just add to that. They're just sort of like in my opinion, they're a step further
Yeah.
from, recording on your phone or recording devices. It's just more like it's there and you don't have to hold it. It's right there. Like glasses, well, these glasses. So
Yeah.
they're all, to me, it's all shit
Yeah.
because of how far human beings take what gets put out to us.
Yeah.
Everything in the future that comes out will also meet the same energy because obviously when you put it out there collectively, you have people that are going to use it for their own little whatever.
Yeah.
That's my
Absolutely.
opinion. I'm not agreeing with Meta glasses at all. I don't. I'd never wear them.
Yeah.
I'd never participate. But I can also see that it's just another thing that was unleashed that just
Yeah.
gives people more of an ability to, do the shit that's already been
Yeah.
done, that's already happening. Yeah.
Perfectly stated, my friend. It's so interesting because, like,
We were going to turn into a debate. I was like, let's do it like we did the other day with Spider-Man
rock
and
climbing.
rock climbing.
Yeah.
I love debating with Nina. It's very much like when it started, I didn't want it to end. I was like, no, 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 no. This. And she's like, no, no, no.
It is fun, isn't it? I like it too.
It
Yeah.
was fun. You got to have some healthy debates sometimes. You can't
Yeah.
always agree on everything, you know?
Yeah.
Even though we do find ourselves agreeing on like a lot of things. This was one of those moments where it was like, oh, we're not really agreeing. Okay. I feel like this adrenaline rush. Let's do it. Yeah.
We talked about I don't even know how we got into this. Oh yeah, you were saying that you think I'd like being Spider-Woman because I like skydiving. And I was like,
Yeah.
being Spider-Man is not like skydiving, it's like rock climbing. And like you should have seen Ashley's face. It was hilarious.
Out with that. And I thought, rock climbing. And then that's when it started. Once she
Yeah.
said that, I was like, really? Spider-Man's like rock climbing. Okay. Duh.
She's like, let me call up a rock climbing business real quick. I was like, hey, do you get that Spider-Man around? But yeah, it is. It's just the ergonomics. We ended up
Agree on.
settling. We settled on paragliding, but I actually, you know what? I
Yes.
thought about it some more. I actually
Oh,
think
here
it's
we
like
go.
bungee jumping. I think it's like bungee jumping. I think it's closer because there's a rope and you like swing. Yeah, that's just where I'm at right now. It might continue to evolve. I don't know.
You have to stay in one place with bungee jumping. But
Yes.
Spider-Man, he keeps going. He keeps going. I mean, oh, it can't be rock climbing either. That shit is in one place. One
No, it's
place. You're
not.
climbing on this one rock. But Spider-Man is like, he's like going. He's moving. Here we
It's
go.
the ergonomics. It's like when you rock climb, you have to swing your body, you have to move your body. You need to know how to move your body so you can get. I mean, like if we're talking about a real mountain, so you can get to the next ledge, or if you do like rock climbing on a wall to the next height, or whatever it is that you need to do. I'm not a rock climber, wall climber. I don't know. I'm not a mountaineer, so I can't
Wall
say.
climber.
I'm a rock climber. Anyway, it's you need to have grip is what I was trying to say. And Spider-Man needs to have grip. He needs to know his agility with his spider web so he can attach to buildings and swing. It's kind of like
What happens when
skiing
he
too.
falls? What happens to rock climbing?
Skiing, bungee jumping, rock climbing, paragliding, it's all of those things.
Volleyball. He's where?
Volleyball. No way. It's not like volleyball. Not at all.
Climbing, right? What happens if you fall? Your harness catches you, right?
Right.
When Spider-Man falls, he gets
His web
caught.
catches him.
Numerous of times. Yes, but if you didn't have your harness, he doesn't have a harness, bro. If you don't have your harness, you fall and die. He doesn't
Well,
fall and
yeah.
die. He is Spider-Man. He's got power. So he can just woo away and live. Keep flying away. He's not stuck on one wall.
That's Marvel, girl. Nobody really dies there except like
Yes, they do.
normal
Black
people.
Widow did.
Oh yeah.
And
so
Iron
did
Man.
Iron Man.
I have never recovered from Endgame.
Me neither.
I can't recover. Every time I watch it, I'm like, I can't. The fact that they've gone. When I watch,
And it's
okay, I was watching
Spider-Man's
Doctor
fault, by the
Strange.
way.
Dude,
If he stayed his ass at home, this
I
would have
can't
never
watch.
happened.
Stop. Stop. I can't deal with Marvel. It makes me feel so much emotion. Listen to this, right? First thing, I don't know what it's called, but the Spider-Man movie where he gets with Doctor Strange and they have to wipe the memory of him in everyone, that killed me.
Yeah.
Because I thought, holy crap, imagine that happening to you. Like the love of your life doesn't know who you are.
Yeah.
Your best friend doesn't know who you are. That killed me. Second thing, I was watching Doctor Strange in the Multiverse. Wanda. Come on, man. Wanda, come on. That's what therapy's for.
Yeah.
Her grief is valid, but that killed me. knowing that
Yeah.
she turned evil, I was like, no wonder. I was really rooting for her.
You know, I am rooting for her kind of honestly because it's like, yeah, go be a villain. You know, I feel like women are always told to be good girls. Go be a villain. Go mess some shit up. Yeah. Go
Yeah,
girl.
but she technically in Endgame, her and Black Widow, and I forgot
Mhm. Yeah.
all the ladies get together and then they just like take charge and then
Yeah.
pow in Endgame. So that's like the power there, but it's for good.
Yeah.
It's for good.
Yeah. I'm interested to see how Doomsday is going to turn out for sure. Anyway, we need to get back on topic, girl. Well, the next discussion is really fun. I think it might also start a debate. I don't know, but it's via I saw it. I wanted to send to Ash because we like doing these. We've done them for previous episodes as well. What's your least favorite song? We've talked about music a lot on the podcast. We've talked about music a lot with each other. I don't think we've ever really talked about music that really irritates us. Like the second we hear it, we're just pissed off. We're just like, absolutely
Yeah.
not.
We've never done that before. But
Go
just
ahead.
know that us mentioning the songs that we're not particularly a fan of is not talking about the artist. So
No.
please distinguish between the two.
Yes.
Because there is one I'm mentioning that I'm sure I don't want people to get confused that I'm talking about the song and not the artists.
Yeah. Shall you go first?
Paper, scissors.
Fine, I'll go
Done it in
first.
a long time. We haven't done it in a long time. Come on.
Oh, fine.
Let's do it.
3, 2, 1. Rock, paper, scissors. Rock, paper, scissors. I can't.
First.
I
I
want
was this one.
no.
You
I
never
didn't
do
want
that.
to
You never
win.
do that. Oh my God. You didn't win.
Okay. My number one on this list. Actually, no. You know what? I'll start with the lowest. I'll go to the number. We'll start at the top 5. Maybe right now at number 4. Okay, no, we'll do top 3. We'll do top 3. Right
I
now at
love how you
number
pick me.
3. Well, number 3, it's not that the song itself is bad. It's just for me, I've heard it too much and I cannot do it. Like the guitar is great. The lyrics I don't really vibe with. I'm sorry. But Thinking Out Loud by Ed Sheeran, I cannot for the life of me. Every time it's like this drum, when your legs don't work like they used to before. I'm like,
Oh
no,
my gosh.
no.
That's wild. I'm
Yeah,
exactly the same with that one.
as somebody who I was there before Ed Sheeran got really big. Like I was a fan of his. I loved Lego House. Like I love these songs that he used to do, and I still am a big fan. But like that song in particular is just not it for me. The chorus is not it for me. I'll be loving you till I'm 70. I get it. It doesn't need that deep of a critical analysis, but it's not for me. What about you?
Even with that one, Shape of You. I'm in love with the shape of you. Push and pull like I'm
Yes.
not like I can't hear it anymore. I'm like, I'm in love with your body, okay, but I can't hear the song anymore. Be in love with my body, but don't sing the songs more.
I don't
Yeah.
like the actual music of that song. It's not the lyrics, it's the actual like the melody behind it. I don't like it. It's just it like I don't know,
Yeah.
it disturbs me.
Do you know what was one of mine that when it first came out and it went viral, I couldn't hear it.
Yeah.
It's just not my personal genre. My personal forte.
Okay.
But that would be Love Story by Taylor Swift.
We were both young when I first saw you.
My eyes in the flesh, but I can't.
When I
I'm
was a
standing there.
teenager, I was really into that. Like I had a friend that was a Taylor Swift
A lot of
fan.
people were.
And I really like
A
that. Like
lot.
I watched a music video a lot.
A lot of people were into it. So no, like it's fine that you're into it if you love it. But every time I'd hear it, I'd change the radio station. I was like, I can't.
I get it. I get it. Yeah, there was a time where it got too much, and I don't listen to Taylor anymore. But yeah, that
Everywhere.
was
So hear me now. There are some other love songs hot out there. And every time a video pops up of a proposal, you see Love Story play, and it's like,
yeah.
actually, you know what it is? I scroll and I
Mhm.
don't even look at the video. I instantly, if I turn my head, I hear, we were both young. And I think, oh,
You yeet it.
yeah, yeet it.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry for everybody that loves the song "Flowers" by Miley Cyrus. I can buy myself flowers. Just please stop. I really don't need it. Write my name in the sand. I really don't want to hear this right now.
To myself
I get the
for
sentiment.
hours.
I get the sentiment, but like it's a
Yeah,
bit
I
too
liked
much.
it when it first came out, but
Yeah.
it gets repetitive. So that's fair.
What about you,
My
my
next
friend?
one,
Mm-hmm.
my next one is Fight Song. That one really did. I love the message, but
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Maybe it's, I don't know. I don't know. There's something, every time I heard it, I'd be like, this is the song I turn off and then turn it off.
Yeah.
Like, I couldn't do it. I really couldn't do it. It's a great message. Like, great. But yeah. Yeah.
Hey, soul sister, I don't wanna miss you on the radio, stereo,
That
the
one
way
as
you
well.
say
Oh my gosh,
stereo.
that's one of mine too. I don't want to miss a thing you do tonight. Do you know
I
what song I
love
also used to get annoyed with? This one reminded me of that Somebody I Used to Know. That one also used to annoy me sometimes.
yeah, same.
Now you're just somebody that I used to know.
It's
Yeah.
yeah, I love Train. I do. I love the
Yeah.
Jupiter song.
Oh
Marry
yes.
Me is a gorgeous song. Oh my god. But Trips to Jupiter, was that the title? I can't remember. But yeah, that one, beautiful. Even Hey Soul Sister, I like that initially, but then it just every store you went to, on the radio, every car driving by, in every movie, every single second. You wake up at night, there's a
Yep.
sleep paralysis demon at your bed. It's singing Hey Soul Sister. Like I couldn't deal with it.
Imagine she's like, "Oh, yes, this is nice." Turns up, looks over, and it's like, "Hey, soul sister, huh? Don't wanna miss a single thing you do tonight."
Oh god. Yeah,
I feel for you in the shit that you see in the dark.
yeah. Thank you. I appreciate.
I just think all these songs that we've mentioned, I think for me, what I'm thinking
Yeah.
is that because they were so repetitive,
Yeah.
when they came out, it was just constant that it just ruined things for us.
Yeah.
It's like, Hey Brother. When I worked at Priceline, they played it every I'm having flashbacks. They played it so many times. So every shift that I'd go in for, after a while I'd hear, Hey Brother, and I'd be like, oh my God.
You're about to
So
rage.
again while I'm stocking shelves. The amount of time, and you know what else too? Kesha and
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
having really bad annoying flashbacks. It's going down. I'm yelling Tim.
Timber. Yeah. That was also played
She
way too
used to
much.
send me into psychosis. Standing like, let's shelves at Priceline, and then I'd hear it again and again. It's going down. I'm yelling timber.
Oh, oh man. No, I gotta, this is my number one. Please, I like literally just the thought of it, just the thought of it irritates my soul. I'm so sorry to the musicians. You must be great. Listen, I know you're European. This is like a European thing. What does the fox say? What does the fox say is the epitome of human torture. Like if you sit somebody in a room and you tie them to a chair and you play that song, you will get whatever you want out of them. I'm telling you. Ding, 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 ding. Why was that a song? Why was that ever made? Why was that ever made?
I don't
Why
know.
was
It
that
reminds
ever
me of
made?
Crazy Frog. That reminds me of Crazy Frog.
I prefer Crazy Frog. I hate Crazy Frog. Crazy Frog scares me. I said this to Ashley before. Like he's like nightmare fuel to me. But like, but what does the fox say? What does the fox say? I can.
Lyrics to that song again.
I hate what does the fox say more than I hate Let It Go. And that is, I mean, Let It Go was played like. I'm so glad I don't have children.
Oh my gosh!
I'm so glad to not exist anymore in a time what does the fox say? I don't even care what the fox says. I just needed to get the hell away from me, please. Anyway,
I had to look at the lyrics again. I had to look up the lyrics. Dog goes woof, cow goes meow, cow. Cat goes meow, bird goes tweet, and mouse goes squeak. And it just keeps going. I remember back then when it came out, looking at the lyrics and just thinking, what's happening right now? Is this like a nursery? Is this a new nursery song for children in kindergarten?
Well, if they're on
What
crack,
does the
sure.
fox say? Ring ding ding ding. Ring ding 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 dinger ding a ringing. Ring a ding ding. Ear a ring ding ding ding.
And the sound, the music, no. And they performed on like a award show or something. And I watched it at the time when I was younger, and I was just like, oh, please, Jesus, make it stop. This is literally emotional, mental, spiritual torture. I'm so sorry again to the artists and people who like this song, but it's just, you could have kept that one to yourself. Seriously. Anyway, what's your number one, my friend?
Okay, this is not in my list, but I just want to say this. When I first heard Gangnam Style, I was no, hear me out first before you hear me out first. It's not that I don't like it, it's not that. But I remember when I first heard it, I was kind of like, when you hear certain songs, I don't know, I felt like I can't do the dance. I feel embarrassed.
Yeah.
Like I felt a little like, oh, what?
Yeah.
I don't like it a little bit. But yeah, I don't hate it or anything. I think it's cool now. But back when I first heard it, I was like, this is not my forte. But it's not a part of my list.
Yeah. I liked Gangnam Style until he came out with New Face. When Psy came out with New Face. I love that one.
I haven't New Face. I've never heard it. I liked the one with Sugar. I liked that song.
Yeah.
It wasn't too bad.
Taeyang as well. What we need is love. I love that song.
I haven't heard that one yet either. But funny, since we're speaking of BTS, this is my song. And again, distinction between the artist and the song. Yeah. Permission to Dance. Permission to Dance.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm sorry, but it reminds me of like Dynamite. They both, for me, have the same energy of it's a family kind of song, and that's fine. It's just not my vibe. But if I hear it on the radio, I'm like, you're not my vibe. Just switch over.
Yeah, I agree. Permission to Dance was not a thing for me as well.
They're much of a fan of it either now because there was a video going around on TikTok. They're doing, I think, their tour, like in their tour, they're doing surprise songs
Mhm.
And one of the surprise songs for Vegas or something like that, I think, was Permission to Dance, and their faces were
Okay.
kind of like, so I don't think they're too much of a fan of it either. Which I feel like as an artist, if you had all these songs out, I don't know over time
Yeah.
if you would love all of your songs. I feel like as you grow, there might be some songs that you're like, okay, that was then.
Yeah.
I'm not really into it now. But yeah.
I agree. I don't know how artists can manage, like performing songs that you had over like 20 years. If you have a very long career, you're fortunate enough to have
Yes.
that to like go back, but oh no, and please play that one. You're just like, oh, I can't play
Over and
this
over and over
anymore.
again.
Yeah.
I don't know how artists, I mean, obviously you do it. You do it.
Yeah.
I would do it, you would do it, but
Yeah.
you would not want to listen to your songs for a while, I think.
Yeah. I think I would
You
get
would
sick of
need
my
a
own
break
voice.
from them. It'd be like a second human. I need a boundary. I need
Yeah.
a break. Let's break up for a bit and then get back together later.
Yeah.
That's my list. I'm done, so.
Yeah,
Oh,
me
wait a
too.
second. I
Oh,
need to mention this one thing, right?
okay.
Because back then when this song came out, when I Googled the songs that like the what's in there as the worst songs, Friday by God, I can't speak today. Friday by Rebecca Black came up. And I remember when this song
Oh
came
my
out,
God. Please.
and I remember participating in the, oh my
No.
God, why? What is this? But
Yeah.
it honestly, like as an adult, one, the projection towards her was so
Yeah.
incredibly unnecessary.
Yeah.
Incredibly unnecessary, right? There was nothing to warrant that behavior. She really,
Exactly.
really
Yeah.
copped it, and she said it in an interview what it was like. It was actually really catchy. Like, as an adult now, I have random moments where I'm like, "It's Friday, Friday, gotta get down on Friday." Just random moments. So it's actually really damn catchy. So she put out a song that you never forget. It's always up there in the noggin, even if
Yeah.
I get old and let's say some of my memory goes, I feel like I'll still be crocheting going, "It's Friday, Friday." Like, yeah. So good on her for putting out something that we will never forget.
That is true. Like I still remember the lyrics, and that's quite remarkable because I can barely remember anything. So
I remember the lyrics as well.
that's
Yesterday was Thursday, Thursday. Today
yeah.
is Friday.
I'm glad we're past that point in time in human civilization. But yeah, you're absolutely right. The hatred that she got is absolutely ridiculous and completely
It was
unwarranted.
ridiculous.
Which that actually brings us into our next topic, which is celebrity attachment slash parasocialism slash projection. Because yes, like Ashley stated, there is a lot of just unwarranted hate and like I have so many people that I could talk to about I could mention in this topic alone, but I just think it's ridiculous. At the end of the day, everybody's a human being, and Rebecca did not deserve to be treated that way. She was young as well. If I remember correctly, she was still a teenager. So it was
Yep.
just to see death threats, hate comments, to the point where she kind of just had to pull herself back completely from the public eye, because of a song. Like I get it, it's annoying, but like at the same time, it's a song. She didn't hurt anybody. Well, maybe some ears, but that's really like harmless compared to the atrocities that we see on a day-to-day basis. So like I feel like
Mm.
to do that to a child at the end of the day, or a young adult, however old she was, is ridiculous to me, especially when it's adults doing these things. But we've
Such a
talked about that
disconnect.
before. It is a big disconnect.
Act like as teenagers we didn't do things that if they were seen by many, they would have had an opinion on it for sure. She released a song. She wanted to have that experience, and we all took it too far. I didn't participate in the bullying, but I know that the song, I was like, this is the worst song. I hate this song. This is a horrible song. How could she put this out? It was like on the alignment of this song
Yeah.
is the worst. But then even this is the thing too. Obviously, we have our jokes and stuff with stuff, right? And you have your moments where your response to it is, oh my God, how many more times do I have to hear this song?
Yeah.
But I think it's about pulling back when it gets to certain extents where you start harassing the artist, where you start really projecting this external hatred towards the person that created it, where it's like, just pull yourself, like have that boundary with yourself. You're allowed to not like it, but there's also like the human law of someone else's dislike is not that person's responsibility, you know? It's your dislike, it's not up to the artist that you if you don't like it, it's not like their business that you don't like it.
Right.
You know, it's yeah, like boundary yourselves, which is what we'll be talking about a lot in this particular topic because yeah, there needs to be some boundarying of self.
Yeah.
We all need to do it, by the way, not just with this topic. With literally everything, we need to boundary ourselves.
Absolutely.
Like traffic, you traffic angry people and your impatience. Like seriously.
It's not just with hatred, it's also with love. Because how much, like, I cannot tell you how much I see people with, like, I wouldn't call myself, like, I like to think of myself as a fangirl because I like to support people. I like to cheer for people's success, the people that I do like, the very rare occasions where I do like a public figure. Like I want to cheer for them and for their happiness and their success and for them to continue to keep going and do whatever it is that they want to do in life. But I would never consider myself a part of fandoms, and I'm not, calling any fandoms out here in particular, but there is this habit that is within celebrity culture and fandoms where like you will have fandom wars, or you will like go as like droves of people in like one community to attack another artist or attack another person that might be critical of the person you like. And it's just
Yeah.
that plus this infighting that happens, and then also the belief that you have a right simply because you like somebody or you like the work that they do, that you now have a right to get attention from that person. Like if you were to do some kind of like, I don't know, autogram signing. Do you guys call it autograms still, or is that a German thing? Anyway, just like the signing thing.
Autograms.
Autograms.
Is that what you just said? Autograms?
Yeah, autogram. Is that what it's called?
Isn't it autographs? Isn't it autographs?
Autographs. Yeah, I said it in German.
Autograms.
Sorry.
Order your grams. Oh, that's going to be a new thing now. I would like an autogram. If I ever see someone, an author, and I want their autogram, I'm going to go up to them and say, autogram.
I knew I said something wrong. I was like, there's something off here with that word.
Market, I'd be like, can I get an autogram of grapes? I love when you're like what is it, like the bit of confusion hits, and then she comes out with these words that are not a part of like the English vocabulary. At least I don't know if they are or not. And I just think this is great. Like I really think there's so much expansion to the English vocabulary. Like why not autogram? Why not have that?
In German, it's Autogramm. That is autograph.
Again, sorry?
Autogram.
Can you say the German version of it again?
Autogramm.
Okay.
It sounds like a car thing. Auto, car, autogram. Anyway, autograph.
Will you please say it? Like if I was a celebrity and you wanted my autogram, well, can you say it in German? What would you say to me?
The whole thing? Okay.
Yeah.
Könnte ich speak?
It's one of those days.
Könnte ich dein Autogramm haben, bitte? Oder ihr Autogramm haben, bitte? That's the polite way to say it, or to ask for one anyway.
Oh, if you said, I'd be
Yeah.
like, oh, yes, you can have my autumn Grammys.
Yeah, but no, the people that like show up in like fan signings, things like that, and think they have a right to that person's space or their time or their energy to the point where they harass that person to get their attention, even online. Like, it's just, I see it happening so often, and I think it is a bit concerning. Just because you love somebody, just because they're a great person or they're kind or whatever, doesn't mean that you have the right to take up their time or their space if they can't have, if they don't want to give it for whatever reason. There doesn't need to be a reason. You're not entitled to. But I think a lot of people think that they are. And I'm not speaking on moments where, like maybe public figures have been rude to a fan or something like that, or like bodyguards like push people, because I've seen videos of that online as well. That is something that needs to be handled correctly. And I'm not speaking on that, but I am speaking of like these obsessive personalities or obsessive behaviors that tend to appear when somebody really is passionate about something or really is passionate about a celebrity or a person. You kind of need to check yourself, because just because you exist and they exist and you love them doesn't mean that you're going to marry them or that you're entitled to their time. You're not. They're a human being. They're a stranger to you still. They don't know who you are. You literally just like dropped to from the earth and appeared in front of them if you're seeing them for the first time in person. And even online, like the bullying, the harassment, things like that. It's just, I don't vibe with that. Like, let's treat each other like human beings. Let's treat each other with respect. And it's a great thing to be inspired and to love a person, but there needs to be a boundary with that.
Yes. It reminds me of the recent incident in China where I don't know if you've
Oh.
seen it, where there's a popular actor. They broke the glass at a shopping mall. I'll send you the video right now. Have a look quickly.
Ooh. Okay, I got it. You shall speak upon it.
Did you watch?
Yes.
Yeah. Do you see what I'm saying? Yeah.
Yeah.
When they broke the glass, they broke the
Yeah.
glass to get to the actor. Okay, so let's sit down. Let's all sit down. Get a coffee. Go a hot chocolate or a tea, whatever you drink. I don't care. Let's have a discussion. All right. It's these moments that I think that says a lot about where we are at in our present life. And I think it's actually a really good thing because then it shows you something that needs your attention. To have that kind of connection with, it's not just with celebrities, people do experience this at their work, where they work. Someone might come in, see them, feel something, and then continue to build on whatever they're feeling. So I'm kind of not just mentioning it for the celebrity aspect of it, but just in general life, you could have these really intense feelings towards people. It might come up randomly and you don't know what it is, and you're kind of just feeling it and then continuing to act on that. And that's where I sort of want to pull it back and say, when you have the moment when you experience it for the first time, that is the moment to get on it and to say, all right, what is this? How can I pull this apart in the layers that maybe there is layers, maybe there's not, or to talk about it with a professional as well and really start to understand what this is. The sudden attachment that's formed is forming for a reason. So it's about really discovering what that reason is before it gets to a certain point where you're now making someone really uncomfortable, but not even just for yourself. You're now so entwined with this reality that you're creating that's not actually physical reality, that it's taking over your life, because essentially parasocial relationships, like celebrity worship syndrome, it takes over people's lives. You're constantly
Mm.
consumed in a reality that's not actually, present. That is an involuntary sort of state of mind that you can get into without, obviously it's not something that just comes out from choice, it just sort of appears. And a lot of the times, like with the um, celebrity
Rumors?
worship
Oh.
syndrome, she thought I was going to say that. Like with that one, it comes down to, actually there's a model called the absorption addiction model. that
Mm.
psychology talks about, I guess, the framework of individuals that experience such an attachment and the connection that it has to self-esteem, like low self-esteem, like personal
Mm.
struggles. And that's sort of without like using this model. In retrospect, that's kind of where I come at it, is the life that someone's living, especially when it comes to parental wounds as well, that can be shown in different ways. Like you have addiction. Obviously, with the experiences that you have in your human experience, some people can turn to addictions as well as other behavioral patterns can start to form. And this is just one of them, unfortunately, is that some people grow this attachment towards someone who is, I guess, showing something to the part of self that needs that thing, that wants that thing. Whether it's you watch the character on a screen, their character is showcasing a kind of love that a part of you really desires, whether that is a parent wound or something from a past relationship. This character is showcasing that. All of a sudden, you feel this deep desire to, you know, date that character or have that character. That's essentially a part of the self that is trying to latch on to what it can to experience the thing that it wants the most. And this character is representing that. And that's a really big indication of, oh, there's something within me that is really calling for something. It's at the forefront. It wants this thing, and this character is bringing that to the surface. But unfortunately, because we don't know, the attachment is formed through this character instead of, okay, I'm aware that this is happening and then taking the next step. And a lot of people don't know that. So I'm not shaming anyone. The consequence comes when you take it forward to the point of stalking, harassment, showing up to their houses, consistent bullying on social media as well. Because the thing too is someone can love an artist but also hate their life, like hate what they're doing in life, that they're dating, that they're, talking in a certain way. So it's like an element of control starts to form into this mix of, you're not the person that my mind conjured up for you to be. Like, and you have to be this person and you have to follow in this order. And if you're not, then I'm going to ridicule you for it or I'm going to go at you for it. So these are sort of the patterns that are good to be aware of, because this can happen to anyone, mind you. This can happen to any of you. This is not subjected to just like someone who's been through trauma with their parents or someone who hasn't exactly had a healthy connection with any human being. So they find it in characters or artists. This can happen to anyone. You can go through a breakup that could end, and all of a sudden, some kind of infatuation starts with someone in a movie or an artist or some other creator, an author even. This can happen with anyone. Or you walk into a workplace, you see someone that maybe they have attributes that are similar to your ex, and all of a sudden you're now gravitating towards them. But that attachment, it's all about how that forms. Because you can walk into the store and fall in love with someone, but it's what you do next. That's the big thing. That is the big thing. It's what you do next with those feelings, right? You're a human being, and unfortunately, there's no there's no book on essentially what comes next and how to deal with it. It's sort of when it happens, being aware of it and boundarying it, learning how to boundary it and pull it back. Because I'm telling you, this is from experience. When I have felt really strong and random emotions towards stuff, I used to just pull it back instantly because, like what Nina was saying, I'm not a fangirl for anything. I don't like putting anything too far up in that, oh my God, I love it so much. Like, that makes me uncomfortable, really uncomfortable. And I also don't want to have that kind of power over everything, anything really, or anybody. I don't want that to be something for me, right? So essentially, it went from this is uncomfortable, I want nothing to do with it, but also like I'm really drawn to certain things and not creating a healthy foundation for that to exist, to coexist as well, to now learning I can feel things and also boundary it and learning what that looks like for me. Right. So it's all a learning journey, people. It's all a learning journey, but you need to boundary yourself, right? However that looks, whatever time you need in that, you have to boundary yourself in anything that's going to happen in your life or come up. There are going to be moments where you're going to need to. And this is just another one of them. because honestly, there's too many stories that are online of celebrities, and I can't even imagine, honestly, being stalked would honestly hurt me so deeply. I would be so traumatized by that, just knowing that someone feels comfortable to invade my safe space like that and to constantly do it, even when there are certain celebrities that have told people to stop and they don't stop. They continually show up wherever they are. They watch where they're going. They try to get their phone numbers. And again, okay, I'll say this, I'll let Nina talk, right? Another great thing to do in the midst of this real deep attachment that you're feeling is to really think about, it's kind of like cliche to say it, but think about how you would feel in that situation. Truly, just like take that moment, really sit there and think about, if this was me, if someone had gotten my phone number that I didn't want to have my phone number, or my address, or showed up to my work and was following me around and asking for information on me and wanting me to come with them. Think about those things and wonder, how would I feel? How would I feel in that moment? It sometimes takes you putting yourself in the shoes of those that you're doing it to actually think, oh, okay, this is not okay. And it shouldn't get to that point, but for a lot of people, they need the mirror of themselves to recognize, I wouldn't like this happening to me, so I should not be doing this to someone else. Like, for some people, that's what they need. But it's just a violation of human safety to go that far for anybody, really. So let Nina, because I can see the wheels in her head turning. I can tell. Yeah, she got something to say.
I have a few things to say, and I will say there's some rain going on, so if you hear rain in the background, use that as ASMR. I don't know, but I think it's actually you sparked something in my brain as you were speaking. Um, I think it's a beautiful thing to be a fan of something. I think it's a beautiful thing to be passionate about something, to be excited about something, to have other things make you happy in life, especially with the times that we're living in today. Happiness can feel very few and far in between or very expensive. And
Mm,
so I think it's a beautiful thing when things can give us joy, music, movies, TV shows, people, that inspire us or make us want to be better. However, as you were speaking, I had this thought in my mind, and I think I've said this before in some other contexts of like, how do you know how to treat that feeling if you've never had it before, or if you're not used to it, if you never felt that kind of passion or that excitement for
yeah,
something. It's very easy to go into the obsessive route with something. And I think a lot of people do. A lot of people, they don't hear about something, then it triggers that kind of like dopamine thing. And then they get really obsessed with it, either for a short amount of time or a long amount of time. And then they kind of like drop down and are like, oh, this is actually kind of cool. I don't need to be as obsessed with this, and then they're back to normal. There's like this high that comes with it. There's a wave that can
yeah.
come with liking certain things. But I was thinking as you were speaking, I was thinking of Bjork, which she's a singer. And years ago, there was a man who sent her a letter with some kind of poison in it because he had seen some kind of news that she was dating a man that she was in a relationship. And it hurt him so much. And he was already not in a great mental state, but it had hurt him so much. And he internalized it as something that he felt that she had done wrong to him, that he wanted to either end her life or severely injure her face, because it was this whole thing that was meant to like explode in her face. And luckily, authorities got to it right on time. They intersected the mail, nothing happens. The man ended up losing his life. And Bjork ended up sending flowers to the family later on for the funeral. And he had made like videos. This is a very common like stalker story online. You can look it up if you guys want to, but it's actually incredibly sad. It's scary, of course, on the side of Bjork, but it's also very sad for the man that was in that moment, because it's like he put his whole entire life and joy into a person that he didn't really know. And I think a lot of people can get so attached to something that may start innocently, but it gets to a point where, like you said, it gets into the control aspect of like, well, this person didn't do the thing that I wanted them to do, so now it's a problem. Or, well,
Yeah.
they I don't know, did this thing or they didn't do this other thing and now I think of them differently. They're not who they said they were. And it's like, babe, first of all, you don't know this person, and third of all, did I say second of all? First of all, anyway, the next number, my next point is, first, you don't know this person. Second, they don't owe you anything. They're living their life. And if they choose to make time for their fans, that's a beautiful thing. But it's done out of their own volition. It's not done
Yeah.
out of a must or a requirement. It's a gift. And I
Mm.
would venture on to say that it's actually a gift to be a part of anybody's life. And you don't have the right to decide what somebody does for you or what somebody else doesn't do for you. The only person you can
Mm.
control is yourself. And if you don't like when your celebrity does something or doesn't do something, or the creators of your show do something or don't do something, we just talked about Marvel, right? You can have criticism, you can have healthy criticism, without it going into, oh my God, I hate this thing, I will never support it again. Like I don't vibe with that. And as somebody who has been stalked multiple times throughout her life, I will tell you this, it's a very surreal moment because it's never really about you. It's about what that
Yeah.
person has invented in their head about you. And
Mm.
it's really, obviously it can be dangerous. It can be scary. In other instances, it can be maybe a little bit more harmless and funny, and people are able to like engage with it differently. I'm not sure. But as a woman in this world, to have gotten stalked by men, it is incredibly scary to go through something like that because you feel like you're having to justify your existence and wanting
Yeah.
space. And for me, in one of my incidents, it happened with somebody at work that I was working with, and it was just like this constant push of somebody wanting more of your time and feeling more and more like they're entitled to it. And it's just like, you need to chill out. And I can't imagine what it's like to be in the public eye where you have to, if you're an actor or something, you have to go to movie screenings, events all around the world. You constantly are talking to so many people on every single day, that when you go out when you're not on work mode, you still run into people. And then you're also seen online. And then, you have stalkers and you have people who like are overbearing, maybe not intentionally, but then there are some that are. And it's just, I don't know. I feel like it's a lot to put a person under that type of public pressure and to be seen in that way. So please just treat people like people. Like Ashley said, if it's not something that you want done to you, don't do it to somebody else. I know that sometimes the excitement
Yeah.
of something get to a point where it's like, oh my God, this is my chance. Like let me like push through the crowd and get this autograph, or this might be the only moment I ever have to do this thing if it's like a celebrity or something. But like seriously, think about it. What is the setting? Where are you at? How are you approaching them? What is the space that they're in? Like you need to have a little bit more social awareness or like spatial awareness or empathy, maybe even a little bit as well. Again, this is
Mm.
on a spectrum. There are people who are healthy with it, there are people who are not. But at the end of the day, I think it always kind of results back to what Ashley said, something that's internal, where you either don't feel connected to the things in your own life that make you feel like life is worth living, and I've been there before, or
Mm.
and then you project that outward, or you feel like this person is your savior, and now this is the only reason to your life. This is the only reason why I exist. I have to be with this person. I am the one. This is my dream person. I am their soulmate. Like you can get so wrapped up in this idea of another human being without actually knowing who they are. And this is a very large discussion, and but I'll cap it off
Mm.
here and just say, like, we're all just human beings. We're all people at the end of the day. Treat people with the respect that you wish to receive, and yeah, No more stalking. It's a bad thing to do.
Bad thing. Very
Yeah,
scary.
very bad.
Yeah. I don't think there's anything more to say with it at the
No.
moment, apart from, like she said, you're human. So acknowledge that first and foremost, while also knowing that you're a human that deserves boundary. And I say deserve because it's such like a non-linear experience of a human that it's such a nice thing to be able to teach yourself something and to be able to acknowledge something and learn. And I say that as like someone who's done it. It's hard. It's hard. It's hard. It's really hard, especially when it's an unfamiliar feeling and
Yeah.
you've never experienced it before, like Nina was saying, and you're like, what do I do with this? I don't like it. So what do I do with it? I'm not particularly comfortable with it. Or even if you don't know, even if you don't have the sense of uncomfortability with it, it's something that's harming someone else. So the acknowledgement of it in the first place, that's sort of where I'm coming to, is if something isn't in alignment with you, acknowledge it. If something's not in alignment with the other person, your behavior is affecting them, it's something to acknowledge, because if you want human connection and if you desire for your reality to shift further than where it's at, that also means establishing healthy foundations for when people come in. If you've lived a life where there's been issues with family, or you haven't exactly had that connection with family or parents, whatever it is. So obviously when you look at what's available from actors or artists, people that are seen as much as they are, and their characters give you that sense of comfort for the part of you that really desires what that character is showing. If you look at that and you think to yourself, well, in reality, I can have that kind of love, right? But the thing is, instead of falling into what in a lot of ways is understandable, but I'm boundarying that when I say that. It is understandable until you take it too far.
Too far. Yeah.
But I'm saying it's understandable in your space, right? In your space where you're feeling that deep desire of, I want that love, but the infatuation is starting with the character, right? But if we go back to, I want that kind of love, it might be difficult. I'm not saying it will be. Could be easy, could be hard, it could be in the middle. I don't know. I can't speak for your individual journeys. How can I build upon experiencing this in my life? And again, like, I don't know how your journeys are going to unfold, but I do know that in the present moment, when you ask yourself that question, it's just a building step from there, and just see what happens, because we don't know. Even if your mind comes up with 100 different potential realities, as I know of as well, it will. It will. But in reality sense, it doesn't know what's going to happen from there. It's just the point that you do deserve to be seen, heard, and validated, right? So, from in the acknowledgement of that, what are you going to set up for yourself to have that, as well as when people come in, what kind of foundations are they going to come into? What kind of space are they going to come into? Are they going to come into one where, because this can happen too, you have friendships that come in, and whatever parasocial relationship you've formed from with a celebrity, we'll say, that could also trickle into your friendships. It can show up in that space. It's not just showing up in that one experience, it can start showing up in multiple in your personal life. And you probably know this. And again, I'm not saying this in shame or guilt or anything like that. It's good just to have awareness. It's purely for the awareness, right?
Mm.
And essentially, you're so, let's say, that part of self that is feeling like it's getting something from that connection, right? You could have that in your friends, but it's because that part of you is so engulfed in whatever this is that it's missing on the reality that it's happening in your reality. It is there. So it's also why it's worthwhile to acknowledge this and to take whatever journey is needed for yourself into starting to bring that energy back to self. Bring that back to self and really look at where you can expand your reality to experience a healthy love, a healthy connection, healthy
Mm.
at the end of the day, and keep growing and learning because that's what you do. You continue to learn and grow as we do. That's a part of the human experience, people. You're not going to know everything straight right there at that point. It's like, oh my God, I just learned that this kind of friendship can exist. There's nothing more. We have nothing more to grow on. You will. As you keep evolving in
Yeah.
your life, as you keep aging, you're going to move, you're going to change.
Yeah.
And our friendships will evolve if they're meant to, So it is about taking back your power. You are giving your power to someone who doesn't know ya, for starters, but also too, we shouldn't be giving our power away to anybody, no matter who they are. Partner, friend, we shouldn't be giving our entire self that's living in its own existence to someone else like this. So it's healthy for you. It's also safer for you. It's also for the best of you to really look at the link. I'm going to paint the visual before I end my lecture, my TED talk. If you picture let's say you picture a celebrity and you picture the link that you're forming, right? If you look at that link, just look at it even and start to acknowledge its existence. Sometimes the acknowledgement of its existence can really spark further questioning, further investigating, further knowing, but also too, the moment you feel resistance towards it, it's a good indicator that a part of you knows that this is not healthy for you. And for a lot of people, unfortunately, it's gone that deep where there is no feeling of resistance in this. It's kind of just they're so engulfed in that. And that's sort of when the conversation takes a different path. That's the different part of psychology that needs to be addressed. But in this case, to feel resistance is such a good thing. No matter how difficult it is, it's a good thing to indicate that a part of you knows this is not the way to have this. This is not the way to experience what you want, what you desire, what you haven't gotten before. So awareness is good. Awareness is needed, as hard as it is. And just know that, what you're feeling is something that can be experienced in your life. It's also okay to desire that. Just, let's learn to shift it and mold it into the versions that are healthier for ourselves, that are for our highest good, so no one else is getting hurt. No one else is being affected in such a way, If someone comes in, it's healthy love, healthy expansion, healthy growth. That's the goal, right? That's the goal.
Yes, always. You said that beautifully, my friend.
Thank you for my TED talk. I need some water. My throat only.
I don't have anything more to add than that, but I don't know if you do, my friend. But we went all over. Live, laugh, life.
LLL.
With the flow hose, brought to you today with what's happening in the daily humans experiences. We never know how these conversations are going to go because, like we said, they're unscripted. We kind of just like talk and see what happens.
There's no AI. There's no AI. We might have some notes in front of us sometimes.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, sometimes I just kind of lowball it from knowledge and awareness that's up there. Yeah. Unless the mouth doesn't want to work with this, which happens a lot, like today. Like this is running 100 miles an hour and this is like, I can't abbreviate what you're freaking thinking, bro.
Yeah. But thank you for sharing your wisdom and your TED Talk, Ash. And thank you guys for watching another episode. We'll be back. Show. Thank you for having me on yours.
No, thank you for having me on yours.
I appreciate you. No,
I appreciate
you for having me on yours.
No. Thank you for having me on yours.
Until next time, guys. Thank you for having me on yours. Goodbye.
Thank you for having me on your show. Bye, everyone.
Bye.